Afternoon, everyone. Sarah Allison here from Parenting in Abundance. I hope you're well. Today, I want to talk to you about parenting and self-employment. I know a lot of people, when they're parents or stay-at-home mums or even stay-at-home dads, they think that self-employment is the best option forward. And on the face of it, it makes perfect sense. You're at home with your kids, you get all this time with them. You don't have to worry about childminding, those sort of things. And yes, that works perfectly for self-employment. But there are things that you need to consider about self-employment from a parenting point of view. The first one is that what do you do if you're ill? Or what do you do when your little one's ill and you can't work? Because when you're self-employed, if you can't work, you don't get any income. So one of the best things about that is to look at sort of life insurance and what happens when you are ill. Find out what happens when you're self-employed, and if you are ill or if you are unable to work, how do you maintain a certain level of income? Because statutory sick pay that's paid through the government is only £148 a week. That's not much to live on, especially when you've got children or if you've just had a baby. It really doesn't work out so much. So you have to consider these things. I'm not saying them to put you off. I'm saying them to educate you so that you know 100% what self-employment means when you're a parent. The next one is the fear of loss of earnings over weekends, holidays, Christmas, those sort of things. If you choose to take that time off, again, because you're not working, you're not earning, unless you've built a business up whereby you've got a constant income flow. And again, this is something to think about. You need to factor that in your business plan, is how much, with blocks of time taken out for weekends, even if it's just one day at the weekend and evenings and then holidays, you need to factor in how much you need to earn to cover you. So don't base it on a 52-week year or 365-day year. Base it on what you're actually going to be working. And so take that into account, because it plays a massive part in actually how much you need to be earning. So it may be that you need to earn more to cover those periods, but you have to think about that. And the next one is stress. It's very stressful having your own business, because ultimately everything comes back on you. You make the decisions. You're the one who puts the hours in, especially if you're a sole trader and it's your own company. It's just you, no employees to pick up the slack. When things go wrong, it is on you. And that can cause a lot of stress. It can cause a lot of stress in the family, because suddenly you might be out of the home more, or you may be, if you've got a home office, you may want to be in the office more. However it is, it can cause tension. And these are all things that you have to consider before deciding on self-employment. How are you going to manage that? How is the family as a unit going to work together to reduce your stress levels? What are you going to do when you're feeling stressed? How are you going to manage that? All your coping mechanisms. These are all things that you have to consider from a self-employment point of view. And the final one is, when you're self-employed, I feel it all the time, is that constant feeling of, I should be doing something, I should be trying to earn some money, I should be working, I should be talking to people, whatever it is, whatever your business is. You constantly have that fear of missing out on business. But also when you're working that hard and you are putting in that many hours to get a business off the ground, to get it up to those income levels, you fear that you're missing out on the family time as well. So it's finding that balancing out, finding that work-life balance. And it isn't just in 9-to-5 jobs or in office jobs or in regular employment that you have that struggle. In many ways, it's worse when you're self-employed, because it's down to you. You take on the burden of that stress. There's no sick pay. There's no holidays that you can take and that you're paid for. This all comes onto you. So I really do recommend that you look at those 4 points when you're considering self-employment as your only income option. If you're doing it as an additional income, then obviously you need to be looking at your tax implications. What's going to happen if you're earning more? How does that impact on your earnings from your other job? Are you going to be moving to a higher tax bracket? These are all things for you to talk about. I know in the UK, there's many, the tax Her Majesty's Tax, they actually run courses for self-employment so that you know all of these things. How much should you be putting aside for your national insurance and for your tax? What's your earning? We only pay tax when we earn over a certain amount. And what do you then pay at that point? What's the best process to be doing that? These are all things that you need to consider and to have those conversations about. But like I say, self-employment is an amazing opportunity. It's something that's been a godsend for me when I found out that I was going to struggle to go into full-time work and be employed. It was the only option available to me. And it's been a trial and error way of working my way through it, going through all these hurdles. And I still have those moments when I'm stressed, particularly at the weekends. I'm never sure, should I be doing this? Should I be doing that? Who's online? Who's not? These are all things for you to consider. If you want to talk about anything, I have experience in both self-employment and parenting, so I would like to help you find that work-life balance. If you want to book in for a free 30-minute consultation with myself where we talk through where you're at the moment, what you'd ideally like to be doing and how we can get you there, then the details are on the screen. I will put them on the screen now for you. Let me just put this in. And you can book in and we can have a chat and see what your options are really. It should have come up on your screen now. If you go to that, it's parentinginabundance.co.uk/schedule appointment, and we can look at what your ideal scenario is, what you would ideally like to be earning, and then put into place some things to help you get there, to work smarter so that you can be focused on your family when you're with them, but you can also give your business 100% to give you the long-term freedom. So I hope you found that helpful. I'd love to hear your comments, so pop me a comment below and let me know what you think. And I hope to hear from you soon. Take care.